Hey guys, in this video we are going to go through the retaining cap. Before we get started, just want to point out a few things. One is that I'm using version 2018. You may be using version 2020. For the most part, they should be the same, but if for whatever reason you're having any trouble finding a function or feature on your version that I had in mind, shoot me an email and then I'll point out how you can find that. Also, with this video, I'm limited to 15 minutes per session, so there's a chance we might have to go on to a second one. Okay, so here's the retaining cap, the finished part file. If I go over to the internet, you can see the directions, the handout that you would have gotten if we were in class. So I would start this part by creating a circle and then creating an extrusion to have a cylinder. So the circle might take a second to find it. The part also has a lot of measurements to the 100th place. So 4.36 is the diameter of the first circle, and it will be extruded 1.16. So let's go create a new part. And I'm going to do a standard English IPT. I'm going to start my first sketch on the XZ plane this time. You could do the XY plane, just by the way it's positioned. XZ will make it look a little bit better. And I'm going to create that circle at the origin, and it's going to go 4.36 and finish sketch. And then, like I said, we'll extrude that 1.16. Okay. Now I'm going to try to create this little indent right here. So if you'll look at it, it has an angle to it. It kind of starts in the middle and then goes straight across, and then this line right here goes down at an angle. So you can't just do a new sketch right here. What did I hit? You can't just do a new sketch on this surface and have it be a rectangle like that and then extrude it down, because that would give you a consistent depth. Ours goes at an angle, so that's not going to help us. What we actually have to do is we have to draw our sketch on the cross section of this cylinder right here, and then draw this shape to extrude it. So if I go start a new 2D sketch, you'll find that the only surfaces I can select are the top and the bottom, neither of which will help me. So I need to draw my next sketch on a different work plane. So I'm going to go down to origin and hit that little drop down, and I will choose a work plane that will give me the surface I need to draw my sketch on. That one would work. That one would not work. That was the one I started with. And that one would work. So either YZ or XY. We'll do XY. So now I'm drawing right in the middle. You hold down shift in the middle scroll where you can move around. And if I want to see exactly the where I'm working with, and I want to kind of cut that part along that line, you can hit F7. So I'm toggling F7 now, and you can see how it will hide the part, show the material. Hide, show, hide, show. And I'm going to create a triangular shape. And then I'm going to extrude that triangular shape in both directions. Let's go back to the finished part. So right now I'm drawing right along here. And I'm going to extrude it in both directions. Start in the middle and then extrude it both directions. So I'm going to draw that triangle. That triangle has the top line being right along this top surface, and then this line right here at an 8-degree angle. So let's go back, and I'm going to draw my top line. I'm just going to go down any amount and then close it off. And then I'm going to hit escape and then dimension these two lines, click point A, point B, and make that 8 degrees. And I'm going to do what I believe might be a new function for us, but we're going to do the mirror function. So to do the mirror, you need to create, once you have what you want to copy over to the other side, you have to create a line in the middle that you want this to be mirrored about. Unfortunately, and I don't really know why, but the y-axis right here cannot be used as your mirror line. I feel like it should be, but no one asked my opinion. So I'm going to hit line, and because this is only going to be a reference line to mirror this part about, I'm going to make this a construction line. So I'm going to hit construction over here, and I'm just going to draw a vertical line. Doesn't really matter the length, but what does matter is that it's exactly on the y-axis. Hit escape, and make sure you uncheck the construction line, or else every subsequent line or circle you do will still be construction. And now I'm going to hit mirror. Again, it might be a little bit in a different location on yours, but you should be able to find it. Pattern, mirror. And look what it's asking you to do. Select, okay? Select the parts you want to mirror. So I'm going to select 1, 2. Is that line 2? Just, it's okay to just click a few extra. And then once you're done selecting the lines you want to mirror, you have to go over here and select the mirror line. The line you want to mirror this across. Select mirror line, click the middle line, and then hit apply. And then it gives you a nice little preview, and we're done. I'm going to finish that sketch, and I will extrude. You might have to select it because it doesn't know which one you want. And that goes 2 overall or 1 in each direction. So I'm going to do the symmetric one because it's the same on both sides. And I'm going to tell it the overall distance is 2. And because it's symmetric, it'll automatically do 1 and 1. And I did not tell it to cut. So let's go back and edit the feature. And if the preview is not what you want, I actually want to do cut. So on yours, it'll look a little bit different, but look for like Boolean and then cut. There we go. Okay. Next, let's do the let's do these for patterns right here. So we have on the top a little semicircle with the diameter of 0.95. And then once you get to the quadrants over here, it's like a straight shot. And the center of this circle, or of that semicircle, is over here, 3.41. And the reason why I know that is 3.41 is the diameter, and then BC stands for bolt circle, which is a common thing in CAD and drawing, is that these bolts will be all located on the same distance from the center, or a bolt circle. So let's go back to here, and I'm going to make a new sketch, and I'll do it on the top surface. And I'm going to do a circle, and I'm going to do a construction one. The reason is, if you look over here, you don't actually see a physical line where that 3.41 bolt circle is. It's a reference line. So I'm going to make a construction circle 3.41. And with this part in particular, I think there's a lot of different ways to get to the same finished product. I'm giving you one way. If your brain's saying, I would have did it this way, you could very well be right. In fact, you might have even found a more efficient way. But as long as you have the same finished product and your design was somewhat efficient, then it is fine. Okay, so now I'm going to create a, make sure you turn off construction. And I'm going to create a circle with a diameter of 0.95. And then at the quadrant, which is like the top, I'm going to make sure I'm selecting right there. And I'm going to go straight across, go down 0.95. But once you go down around 0.95, it'll see how that dotted line appears. It knows you probably want that point. And then go to here. If you're in doubt, you can always add a tangent constraint. Although if you drew it the way I showed, it would have already been in that location. It wouldn't have added the constraint, but it would have been properly drawn. And then I would trim out this little section right here, and you can finish that sketch. And we're going to do it one time, and then we're going to copy it over for the other 3. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So I'm going to extrude this in the other direction down a distance of 0.54. I think that's what it was, right? Yeah, 0.54. And I'm gonna hit OK. And now I'm gonna add a hole. So I'm gonna hit hole. And again, yours looks a little different, but I have to select concentric. You actually don't. And then you select the plane. I want to draw the hole on this plane. Concentric reference. Concentric to what? To have the same, I want this hole to have the same center as this arc right here. And the diameter of that ought to be 0.44. Is that what it was? Yeah, 0.44. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, I want to do that several times. I don't want to do it each individual time, but I want to copy this 4 more or 3 more times to have 4 total instances. So we are now going to do what's called a circular pattern. A circular pattern copies a certain feature around a circle or around an arc however many times you want. So I'm going to go over to circular pattern. And the way this works is as follows. First, you got to select the features you want to copy. I'm going to select this right here. 1, 2. Now I've selected the 2 things I want to copy. Next, you have to select rotation axis, okay? Now that you've selected the features, what do you want to rotate it around? And now you have to select a circle or an arc that has the center you want this rotated. So I'm going to select this circle out here. Boom. And it gives you a bunch of previews. How many instances do you want? Now you don't tell it how many more you want, you tell it how many total you want. And I'm going to say 4. And then I want it around the entire thing, so I'll leave this at 360. But if you wanted like 4 instances and a half a circle, you would do it like that. And I'm gonna hit OK. And now we are looking pretty good. Finally, I need to add a circle right in the center. So I'm gonna do a hole. And I'm gonna do a concentric one. The plane, you might be tempted to select one of these. You actually don't. You want to select one of these side ones because that's that top surface. So I'll select right here. Concentric to what? That arc right there. And in this time, I don't have a straight regular hole. I have one of these bolt ones. It looks like it's this one. Yeah. So let's go back over here. And it looks like the larger, the head of it is 1.54 diameter. The depth is 0.44 and then 1.08. And look at the diagram. It does a really good job of making you know which dimension you're providing. 1.54 down 0.44 and then 1.08. And I'm going to OK. All right, we are done with that part. Let's see how it compares to our original. Good. I would save this and call this retaining cap, and then we'll call that the end for this first video.